this thing because I sure as heck didn't. I don't think I've ever held one. I've never seen one in a store. I've never seen an online listing for one, and that's weird because it looks like the kind of thing I would be really into, except for the fact that it shoots RIVAL, and historically I'm not really a big fan of RIVAL, but here we are with the NERF RIVAL Heracles, part of the Camo series, which I honestly don't know if the Camo series is a retailer exclusive or not. As of right now, I looked on Amazon and stuff like that, I couldn't even find one of these for sale. I saw one listing that came with a pack of like extra RIVAL rounds that was sold out, and the only place I can find this is Walmart.com, so maybe the Camo series is a Walmart exclusive. It might be because they also have the Battle Camo stuff at the Walmart, so I found this sitting on the shelf. It's never been there before. It was the only new blaster on the shelf, and I picked it up because it was like a little under $15, and that's about the same price as a Kronos, and surprisingly enough, this is basically a Kronos, but it has a smaller shell, as from what I'm remembering. This has been out for a while. It's been out since like July or something like that, and I've never gotten my hands on one, even though it looks like something I'd be really excited for, because it's got a grip guard, and it's a pistol. It is RIVAL, and that usually has something against it, but it still looks pretty darn spiffy. But we forgot about this thing pretty much immediately, because then we saw the Zuru Chaos Meteor, and that seemed a lot cooler. It's RIVAL, it's a pistol, it's breech load, tactical rail, trigger lock, integrated round storage, which is the same kind of storage that the Knockout had, which is rather interesting. Back of the box doesn't show anything new. In fact, the newest blaster they show on here, I think, is the Hera, which, funny enough, this is the Heracles, and then there's the Hera. $15, and yes, ages 14 and up, so the FTC might not completely destroy me. Let's get it out of the box. Yeah, that is like the same size as a freaking Kronos. That is absolutely... Why did I think this thing was smaller? I could have swore somebody said the internals were smaller. That does not appear to be the case. There's one RIVAL round located right here, and there's 4 more right there. So even though it comes with round storage for 5, even though it's a breech loader, I believe, with a 5-round internal magazine, they only give you the 5 rounds. They should give you 10. Come on, Hasbro. And it's got a rail awkwardly at the front of the slide. And this thing is massive. This thing is absolutely massive. I was not expecting it to be this big. It does look cool. Oh my god, it gives you like 10 storage and only comes with 5. So you could have 5 in the magazine and then 10 on the side of the blaster. That's interesting. Let's see how well it holds those in place. Okay, not perfect, but okay. I don't know how often you want to use something like that. You'd say like, oh, you wouldn't want to use that because then you'd never be able to holster it, but trust me, you'd never be able to holster this thing anyway. Although it is quite nice that the camo pattern is on both sides. I believe that's something that does exist with like the battle camo and stuff. The RIVAL thing right here being painted in orange is kind of interesting. I haven't really seen that before. And there's some nice negative spacing up here, and honestly, it's a pretty cool looking shell. It's just flipping massive. There we go. Wow, that was somewhat difficult. And it looks like, yep, it's the same kind of magazine that the Kronos has. So a 5-round internal magazine. And it does seem like an easier loading gate, to be perfectly honest. And if it's just, I guess that's actually okay, that's a cool design. So it just doesn't have the door on it at all. I didn't even notice that at first. It's literally just the plunger tube right there. That's kind of cool. It's actually really kind of cool. Guessing that must be a unlock button. Why is this so hard to prime back? Okay, yeah, that's a slide. Oh, you can use that to double feed it. Heh, that's kind of cool. Does have a priming indicator in the back of it, so you can tell when it's actually loaded. That's not bad. That does feel like it's hitting kind of hard. That came back and hit me in the face. 99! If I remember correctly, my Kronos was not hitting anywhere close to that stock. I think it was more like in the 80s? Oh my god, those are coming back and hitting me right in the face. 97? 96? 94? Why does it seem like it's getting lower with every single shot? 99.7 again. Not bad at all. About what you'd expect, honestly, from a RIVAL sidearm, but that's pretty darn good. It definitely seems like it's hitting hotter than the Kronos, although that might just be an ever number of small changes. What I want to see is how the hop-up is in this thing and if it's accurate at all, because one of my biggest problems with my Kronos was how inaccurate it was. So I'm going to take it outside and see exactly what this thing can do. Well, I don't think I was expecting to like this blaster as much as I did. I was expecting a Kronos reshell that can't tank all of the mods that we usually do with the Kronos. Therefore, yeah, be a pretty good pistol, but you know, we already have so many rival pistols out there. What would make this one even worth using at all? And the answer to that is, quite surprisingly, how easy it is to reload and how effective it is. It does seem a lot more accurate than a Kronos. It also seems to hit harder than a Kronos, so I'm quite smitten with that. But the accuracy is what really gave it away. Most of the time I use a rival pistol, they're not very accurate. This one was way better. It still wasn't up to snuff what I usually use, but it is pretty good. If you slap a stronger spring in there, you can kind of see that the rounds tailed off at the end of their lifespan. I think that's only going to get worse if you put a higher spring load in this, but time will tell. Maybe the hop-up right there is absolutely perfect for that. But the main case for this thing would be if you wanted to primary a pistol, which there are legitimate reasons for. It's not a very big blaster. It doesn't take up much room in front of you. You don't have to have a stock or anything like that. It's very maneuverable. It's small, lightweight, easy to use. Those are reasons why I like using primary pistols, and this is a really good option for that over something like the Apollo and whatnot, which is mag-fed and stuff like that. This is way more comfortable to me, and it's smaller. It's still a flipping huge blaster in my opinion, but it looks small, which is kind of interesting. It's really easy to reload though, and I also managed to get 6 rounds in it with pretty much no problem whatsoever, so at the start of a match, if I wanted to, I could have 6 rounds in here. Pull it open just like you would any other Kronos, a breech-loading blaster, and you would load 5 rounds in there, which for the Heracles is actually rather simple, all things considered, although now I'm completely screwing it up because it's getting colder out here. And I actually did what I wasn't planning on doing. I put a round into the chamber, which you saw me do at the very end of the firing footage. But if I kind of push the rounds down into the magazine and then close the breech, there, now I've got 1 in the chamber, I've got 5 in the magazine. You could probably fit a 6th in there, and there's probably modifications, just like with the Kronos, to allow you to hold more ammunition in there, which is pretty darn spiffy. Boom. But I think the main use case for this was how easy it was to reload. I was not expecting this to be so simple to reload when I was kind of just, I wasn't even really trying, to be perfectly honest. I was just like, oh, there's rounds there. I can just kind of scrape them out of their hidey holes. Again, doing terrible now, but I did better in the firing footage. Prime this thing back and just shove them down in there, which is not bad at all. That seems rather quick to me, and it does carry 15 or 16 or possibly even more, but 10 rounds extra on the side of the blaster. Yes, you can use the quick reloaders like I showed off in the Kronos upgrade video that I got from Foam Technician, and those work perfectly fine, but this doesn't require anything like that, and that thing's just as hard to holster as this thing would be. Although you would have to worry about those things breaking if they slap against something. You really do have to worry about these kind of getting jostled out of their containment units there. That is a little bit of a problem, but very easy to reload on the fly, which means you can kind of keep the pressure up if you're using a blaster like this. And if you need to reload, it's not hard to just grab 5 rounds and just kind of smush them into place like that. So yeah, this suddenly made this blaster a lot cooler than I was expecting, and now I can give it a recommendation if you wanted a rival pistol that you could only just use the rival pistol. You know, I mean, you could clip it on somewhere, but if you just wanted to run around with a pistol, this is an excellent option. Is it better than something like the Zuru Meteor or even the Sentry from Dart Zone or any other blasters that may come out? I'm really wondering about that. It still hits really hard, it looks cool, it functions well. I don't really see a problem with this thing. In fact, this is definitely my, I don't want to say new favorite because I really like how the Zuru Meteor reloads, but this thing seems absolutely awesome to me, and I would probably use it in a stock war, absolutely no problem whatsoever. I'm assuming the internals are very similar to the Kronos. In fact, I can pretty much already see the plunger tube and guess that's how things are gonna go. But I do know there's some differences. I believe the plunger tube is slightly smaller in this one, so even though it could probably still take a spring upgrade, it might become an issue down the line. Although it may be possible to take this thing and cut a magwell slot in it and have like a, I don't know, a cool little, you know, magwell up here. You can hollow this out and have that as a guide. That might be kind of cool. I don't think it's been done, but I also don't know how widespread this blaster is. I only recently just found it brand new at my local Walmart. So, but yeah, I'm gonna say the Heracles might be something you want to look out for if you're into rival, you're into pistols, and you're looking for something where you can just run around and just use this and be pretty darn effective, I would say. I was not expecting to like this blaster, but this definitely replaces the Kronos for everything other than modifying it for shooting short darts, and maybe even this one's capable of that. I'm Walcom S7, thank you so very much for watching this video. Please like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this. Maybe you want to dislike future videos, I don't know, I'm not insane. But other than that, I hope to see you in an entirely different one.
You gotta